morning, everybody. Tim Pettigrew here, Coldwell Banker. So I'm just coming at you with a video. It's been a while since I put something up, but I wish it was Monday because then I could say Misconception Monday, but it's Friday, so let's just get to it. All right, so what I'm going to talk about today is one of the biggest misconceptions as a buyer when you're getting a house or real estate or property, whatever you're buying that you have intentions of living on, running a business, just property, okay? So one of the biggest misconceptions is I'm a buyer, I'm looking to buy this property, and it's going to cost me a fortune to find an agent. Well, I'm here to tell you that as a buyer, your costs are limited. You really don't you don't really even pay commissions. Now, I know every broker typically has some little fee that they charge. It's normal. There's no getting around it. I'll be surprised if you ever come across a broker that doesn't have some kind of an admin fee or something, but it's a very nominal amount, a few $100s maybe, depending on that person, that broker. And it's all kind of added on and closed. You never as a buyer pay anything up front to a buyer's agent. So how is commission paid? Obviously if you're working with a buyer's agent, he or she wants to get paid. So how is it paid? If it's not coming from me, who is it coming from? Well, I'm here to tell you how exactly that works. So I am going to Mr. and Mrs. Seller, 123 Banana Street, and they have expressed to me that they wanted to sell their house. So I have prepared a marketing analysis. We've discussed what they think the house is worth, what I think the house is worth or not worth, depending on what that number is in their minds. But ultimately, we will discuss a commission percentage. Now, there is by no means a standard in the market in the area. I'm sorry for the video being so shaky. Can't really do anything about that. But there is no average. There is no standard commission by any means. It's whatever that agent negotiates. However, as a seller, what you will be doing, unless it is figured out another way, this is how it all most of the time works. As a seller's or listing agent, we will discuss a percentage. Maybe 6, maybe 7%. 7%, let's just use 6%. 6% of the total sale of the house. So let's say it's a $200,000 house. 6% of that will be paid in commissions. So 6%, $200,000. So we are talking $12,000. Now that 6%, depending on what the listing agent writes and how they split it, the listing agent will get 3%. The buyer's agent will get 3%. The seller of the house being bought pays the commission. So anybody coming in with a willing and able buyer, they put an offer, they accept it, they will be paid by the seller 3%. Usually it's kind of split in half. So 3% of the overall commission or overall net sales of the house. So $200,000, so $6,000. Now, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, there's some kind of split with their broker, so they're not getting all that. They're not. That's, as a buyer, that's money that you do not have to pay. Now, there is a thing that's called buyer agency that we as realtors use to kind of protect ourselves and our time. If we're working with a buyer and we're spending a lot of time, there's been instances in the past where put in all this time, all this effort, and that person decides to go out, they find a house, there's an agent standing there, they're just like, what the heck, I'll work with him, screw Dave, and they'll make an offer. Well, you just put in all that work and you just got screwed out of an entire commission. We need to eat, we need to live. So buyer agency is one of those things that have protected us as realtors, in our time, because it's valuable. So what it does is, if someone signs with a buyer's agent, that establishes a legal relationship or legal agency relationship. So as a buyer's agent, we are your representation throughout the entire process. We hold everything confidential. We help you make an offer, help you know what a good offer is, walk you through every individual step with buying a house. But usually, unless stated otherwise, that buyer agency contract is good for 365 days from the date that it was signed. Now, it means by no means that you are obligated or you have to purchase a house. You do not. It just designates that person as your agent for up to 365 days, because that's all the longer you can have an agency contract in Pennsylvania, to my knowledge. But most importantly, it protects that realtor from a client that's maybe unknowingly, maybe they go out and after all these months, this person driving you around, showing you these houses, investing all of this time, it entitles that agent to be compensated. So if you go out, you find a house, somebody else, you have to pay that other agent, and probably the agent that you bought the house with. So you have to pay twice the commission. Now, typically as a buyer, you don't pay any of that commission to the seller, but you will be paying on the other end. So, misconceptions: as a buyer's agent, you don't pay the commissions. The seller does. Buyer agency is a thing that protects us as realtors, because I've certainly been in these situations where I've worked with a buyer, put in all this time, all this effort. For whatever reason, I don't have a buyer agency signed. They go out, they find another agent, they buy a house. I just wasted so much time. So buyer agency protects me, and maybe I don't want to work with you, maybe you don't want to work with me. So buyer agency gets that stuff right out of the way. But moral of the story is, as a buyer, you do not pay the commissions. The seller does. Your agent's basically, free to charge, or they work for free for you, because you're not finding, nothing's coming out of your pocket really. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. The seller and the listing agent discuss a percentage. They discuss what they're going to be paying a buyer's agent coming in. Whoever finds a willing and able buyer, obviously they'll figure out what they're getting paid on the transaction. But as a buyer, you do not pay commissions. So do yourself a favor, find a good qualified buyer's agent, somebody that you can trust, somebody that you can absolutely get a hold of, because there's quite a few realtors that are very inaccessible. I will say that. So you want to be able to get a hold of that agent at any point. You want somebody that's honest, transparent, somebody that knows their shit. So do yourself a favor, find a good qualified buyer's agent, and should that dream house pop up of yours, if you have a good agent, they'll already have you on the phone before you even get a chance to see it. So all your friends in the neighborhood or people that you hate, they don't see the house, go out, put an offer before you even get to see it if you're doing it on your own. So do yourself a favor, find a buyer's agent. I know I rambled on here quite a bit, but that's my misconception of the day. As a buyer, you do not pay commissions. The seller of the house is paying the commissions to both the buyer's agent and the listing agent selling the house. However, I also want to make this clear, even though the seller is paying the commissions, as a buyer's agent, you are working for the buyer, and everything is held confidential between the buyer and the buyer's agent, the seller and the listing agent. They keep everything between them, and the agents interact to move forward the deal. So even though that party is paying the commissions, the buyer's agent still works on your behalf. So have a great Easter, everybody. Find yourself a buyer's agent. You need one. You really do, especially in this market. The homes are freaking flying off the market like crazy right now. So find yourself an agent. Save yourself the trouble. And if anybody out there is looking to sell a house, listen, if you don't do it soon, you're going to miss the mark. You're going to get the most money you can out of your house now. Now, if you wait a couple months, overnight a market can change. I mean, as a seller, there is little to no competition right now with any other homes on the market. So think about it. Contact your local real estate professional. Contact me, obviously. I will be more than happy to prepare a comparative market analysis in which we use this information, see what homes have sold for that are comparable to yours. I guarantee you will be surprised on how much your house is worth right now. Because if you wait, let's say 3-4 months down the road, there's a ton of inventory on there, and your house is going to probably be sitting there for a while, and you certainly won't get top dollar. We are seeing, as sellers, multiple offer situations on the daily. So you're getting over asking price a lot of times, way more than you would ever get any other time. So food for thought. If you're looking to sell, I don't care what area you're in, contact me today. I'll be more than happy to prepare that for you. I'm going to shut up now. Have a great Easter. Have a great weekend. Be safe.